Hey fellas, hope you guys doing great. In today's video we will see, what if Naruto got banished and built Harem with Anthro Ponies, Part 2. Huge shout out to Shigiya for this story. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe and like the video. So let's start the story. Twilight Sparkle was not having a good day. At first her day started out good. She had learned another spell from her mentor and ruler of Equestria, Princess Celestia, and Spike, her number one assistant, made her favorite lunch, Caesar salad. Then she decided to spend her free time reading a chapter of The Mare and the Moon in Wise Tales of Old by Steve Crown. That's when her day started to go sour. She learned that the prophecy of the Mare and the Moon was coming true. She had tried to warn Princess Celestia, but when the princess didn't believe her and told her to stop reading those dusty old books, it felt like she just sucker punched by one of the royal guards. Then she told her that she should take time off of studying and sent both her and Spike to go check on the preparations of the summer solstice festival. But not only that, she also told her to make some friends while she was at it. Ridiculous. She shouldn't be wasting her time making friends. The fate of Equestria lay in her hands. She was going to follow Princess Celestia's order and try to finish this as fast as possible. Then she could go back to prepare a plan to convince the princess of the oncoming threat and stop Nightmare Moon's return. Just she was about set her plans in motion, but she bumped into someone which knocked her out of her deep thoughts. The person introduced himself as Naruto Uzumaki, who so happened to be their guide. He was a tall blonde with cat-like whisker marks on his face, an athletic build, and wearing an orange-plated shirt with blue jeans. "You okay, Twilight?" asked her little assistant, Spike, as he helped her up. While those two were busy, Naruto was able to get a good look at the two. The girl seemed to be around Rarity's height, and her age as well. Her skin was a light dark that complemented her hair. She had long violet hair with a long pink strip on the left side that reached her upper back and was styled in a Harem cut. She was wearing a purple blouse with a brown sleeveless vest, and purple skirt that reached her thighs. She also wore a pair of black Mary Jane shoes with long purple socks that reached to her thighs. The other one was around Apple Bloom and her friend's age. He was around same height as the girls, with green spiked up hair and pale skin, and slitted emerald eyes. He had two little fangs sticking out of his mouth, and wore a long sleeved light purple jacket with a large lime green line going down the middle. He had cargo pants in the same colors but with the green line on the side of the pants and a pair of purple sneakers with a small black dragon head on the side. "Yes, Spike, I'm fine," she said as she dusted off the dirt from her skirt before giving Naruto a slight glare. "So you're my escort? It seems someone needs to learn be punctual." Naruto rubbed his head sheepishly. "Yes, sorry about that. I was talking a little with some of my friends and I just lost track of time." Twilight just looked at him for a while, making Naruto feel nervous by her stare. He was about to say something to her until she sighed. "Fine, let's go." "By the way, what are your names?" asked Naruto, looking over at them. "My name is Twilight Sparkle," she answered curtly to him. "And this little guy is Dash." "Hi, my name's Spike." Spike popped up from behind of Twilight, waving at him. "Nice to meet you." Naruto waved back. "Are you two by any chance hungry?" "Yeah, I'm starving." Spike spoke up, rubbing his stomach. "Spike, focus," scolded Twilight. "We don't have time, we have to check the preparations," she said, bringing down Spike's mood. "Hey, don't worry, little buddy, our first stop is the catering," said Naruto, trying to bring up Spike's mood. Spike's face lit up upon hearing that. As they walked through town, they hadn't said a word to each other. Spike was busy looking at the new attractions and decorations, while Twilight was in deep thought. Naruto tried to break the silence by starting up a conversation. "So," started Naruto, grabbing their attention. "Tell me about yourselves." "Huh?" Twilight was startled out of thoughts by the sudden question. She was too focused on the coming of Nightmare Moon. "I asked to tell me about yourselves, like what are your likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams for the future? A little personal, don't you think? And why do you want to know?" "Yeah, shouldn't you tell us about yourself first before asking us?" spoke up Spike, entering the conversation after finishing his sightseeing. "You got a point, and as to the why, It will help pass the time because it takes a while to get to Sweet Apple Acres, plus I'd like to get to know you. Anyway, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like my friends, the Apple family, music and ramen, even though they don't have any here. He muttered the last part to himself in disdain. My dislike are people who think they are better than others just because of their status, those who hurt others because they think they can, and waiting to get a piece of Granny Smith apple pie. My hobbies include training, playing pranks and making music. My dream for the future is to remember my past. What do you mean? Well, I have no memory of my past since before I came here, but it's not all bad. I started to get some of my memory back. Well, okay then. My name is Twilight Sparkle, as you already know. I like reading, studying new magic, my family and Princess Celestia. My dislikes are when things are not organized, and when things don't go according to plan. My hobbies include collecting new books, learning new magic, and mastering my spells. My dream for the future is to be a great sorceress. That's good, said Naruto with a nod. He turned to look at the green-haired child. What about you, little guy? My name's Spike Sparkle, and I am a Draconic, spoke Spike with enthusiasm. I heard about Draconics. They live far out in the west and prefer to be isolated. They're considered to be very dangerous, said Naruto, happy that he'd get to meet in person, even if it was a young one. Yeah, we're the toughest. Anyway, I like gems, my family, and comics. I dislike those who hurt my family, and blue blood. Spike said the last part with disdain. Who's blue blood? Asked Naruto. He is Princess Celestia's distant nephew. He really doesn't like anyone that he considers a commoner, and treats them like garbage, said Twilight, narrowing her eyes as she remembered all of interactions with blue blood. All terrible moments, but luckily few in number. How he's related to Celestia, only she knows. Let's forget about that guy and get back on topic. So what are your hobbies and dreams? I like to collect gems, taste gems, and read comics. As for my dream for the future, I want to become a powerful dragon. So what would you do with all that power? Naruto asked Spike. I would protect my family, Princess Celestia and Twilight. That's good, always keep that in mind. Naruto patted Spike on the head. Now that's out of the way, let's soof. Naruto was interrupted as something slammed into his stomach and knocked him onto the ground, surprising the other two. Naruto looked to see who or what had knocked him down, and saw pink puffy hair in his vision. Hey Pinkie Pie, how's it going? Said Naruto as he felt the pinkage shift as she looked at him with a big smile. Hey there Naruto, how's my favorite boyfriend? She said while hugging him, not being bothered by what she just said. Boyfriend? When did I become your boyfriend? Asked Naruto frantically as he blushed at the thought. Not that he wouldn't mind being her boyfriend, she very sweet and always had the best intention for people, and she was great with kids. Even though he wouldn't admit it out loud, but he considered her to be pretty cute, especially when she laughed. When you became my friend, silly, said Pinkie as she bopped him on the nose. But when did I agree to become your boyfriend? What do you mean? Asked Pinkie. I think what he means when did you two have a romantic relationship? Spoke up Twilight, who was getting tired of this situation and wanted to get it over with. Oh silly you, I meant that you are a boy who is my best friend, said Pinkie. She giggled, making Naruto calm down and feel a little embarrassed for thinking that Pinkie wanted him to be her boyfriend. Then Pinkie gained a look in her eyes that made Naruto both nervous and, dare he say, a little excited. But I wouldn't mind being your girlfriend if you asked me to. Naruto's blush came back for a second round at full force. Before he could say anything, Pinkie started to laugh hysterically. Snort ha ha ha, you should have seen the look on your face, ha ha ha, it was priceless. You looked like a tomato, snort ha ha ha. She rolled off him but kept laughing. Naruto had calmed down when Pinkie told him she was joking. Her laughing must have been contagious as he and Spike started to laugh along with her. You really got me, Pinkie, I thought that you really wanted to go out with me, he said, still chuckling, but stopped when he noticed that she stopped laughing too. But if I was serious, she said in the most serious look he had ever seen on her. Well, you ugh. Naruto was completely tongue-tied as he didn't know how to answer her. Ha ha ha, I got you again! Pinkie laughed again, losing the serious look on her face. Twice in a row, I am so going to get you back, Pinkie Pie. I can't wait to see you try. I hope it involves pie. Hopefully apple pie. Ehem. They were interrupted from their conversation by Twilight, as Spike was by her side again. As fun it is to see you two flirt with each other, we are a schedule and I do not want to be late. So I'll be going by myself to check the preparations if you're just going to waste time. Come on, Spike. Before she and Spike could leave them be, Pinkie Pie had gotten in right in front of two, both surprised by her sudden appearance in front of them from on top of Naruto. What the how did you dash? Spike started to ask before he was interrupted. Oh my gosh, you must be new in town, said Pinkie excitedly. Really, what gave it away? Asked Twilight sarcastically. Pinkie Pie either didn't notice or care that she was being sarcastic as she went on. Ooh, I should throw you a party to welcome you to Appleville. That way you guys can make lots of friends since you're new in town. Oh, it's going to be so fun, I mean, who doesn't like parties? Before Twilight could tell her no, Pinkie had already left without a trace. Well, she was weird, spoke Spike, still trying to understand what just happened. True, but she's a fun person to be around, said Naruto, getting off the ground, dusting off any dirt that was on him. Okay, let's get going before something else distracts us, said Twilight before putting her attention back on Naruto. Sorry about that, let's get going. They had reached Sweet Apple Acres without any interruptions. As they reached the gates, they saw Applejack carry a basket of apples. Hey, Applejack! Applejack turned and looked for who was calling for her. She saw a group coming towards her, but she only recognized one of them. Hey, Naruto, finished already? Who's the girl and the little fella? Asked Applejack, pointing at Twilight and Spike. They are the inspectors from Canterlot, Twilight and Spike Sparkle, Naruto said before turning to the other two. This is Applejack, or AJ, one of my best friends and boss. She and her family are in charge of the food. Applejack walked to Twilight and offered her hand, which Twilight took. Twilight soon started to regret it as it felt like her hand was being crushed. It also didn't help that she was being vigorously shaken too. Hi there, it is a pleasure to meet ya. We apples love meeting new folks and making new friends. Friends? Well, about that dash. I bet you guys are hungry. How about you try sampling some of our grub? Said Applejack, letting go of her hand, even though Twilight's hand still kept going up and down. Spike helped her by stopping it but couldn't help letting out a laugh. I'm not really dash. You gotta try the food. I guarantee that you will be asking for more. The thing is dash. Soup's on everybody, yelled Applejack as she started to ring a cow bell before bringing them over to a table. Twilight was about to tell her that they were in a hurry. Then they started to feel a rumble. Then all round them were a whole mess of people. There's a lot more people than before, Naruto muttered to himself when he saw the visitors triple in size. Yup, most of them lived farther, so it took them a while to get here, said Applejack. Anyway, let me introduce you to them all, while they give you a sample of their food. When Naruto and the others looked around, they all thought the same thing. This is going to take a while. By the time Applejack finished introducing the family to them, as well as Naruto receiving some flirting from her other female cousin before receiving a scolding from Applejack, which Naruto didn't notice. His focus, as well as the others, was on the huge pile of food that was staked on their table. Wow, this is a lot of food! Naruto kept looking at the food, before taking a big whiff of the sweet aroma of the food. He felt his stomach growl at him to take a bite of the delicious delicacy. He wasn't the only one, as he saw Spike also looking at the food with hunger, about ready to pounce on the food. Well, started Twilight. As much I would love to try out all this food, we really have to go. Everyone gave a depressing whine, hearing that she didn't want to try out their food. Twilight felt a little bad, but the fate of Equestria was on the line, and she couldn't waste time eating delicious food. When she turned around, she came face to face with Apple Bloom, who was giving her the look. Don't you want to stay for brunch? She asked in a sad, quiet voice. Her eyes had gone all watery while giving her a sad little pout. Naruto knew that Twilight would cave in once Appaloon gave her that look. Very few people were ever able to say no to Appaloon when she made that face. Even Applejack had a hard time trying to say no to that face. Naruto started to mentally count down as he saw her start to tremble when Twilight looked at her face. 3, 2, 1. Okay, said Twilight with a sigh before looking at the pile of food again. Ugh, too much pie, said Twilight, rubbing the noticeable bulge on her stomach. Naruto, Twilight, and Spike had left Sweet Apple Acres once they had finished eating. But it tasted really good though, said Spike, giving a loud belch. You know, you didn't have to eat that much, said Naruto, even though he and Spike actually ate more than her. Twilight gave an annoyed grunt before looking at Spike. What's next on the list, Spike? Next is to talk to someone named Rainbow Dash, who is in charge of clearing the weather, replied Spike, as he pulled out a scroll from his jacket. Doesn't look like she is doing a good job, complained Twilight, looking up in the sky and spotting some clouds roaming around. She turned to Naruto. Can you tell me where Rainbow Dash is? Sorry, haven't seen her all morn, Dash. Naruto was interrupted when they started to hear screams above them. They looked up and saw someone coming down at a fast speed towards them. Look who that! The person screamed as they crashed right into Naruto. Twilight and Spike went to check if Naruto and the person that crashed into him were okay. Naruto gave a small grunt as he tried to see who had crashed into him. He saw a colorful spectrum invading his vision. The girl still had her eyes closed. Naruto looked down at the person, checking if she was okay. Hey Dash, what up? The rainbow-haired girl opened her eyes when she recognized the voice that was talking to her. She looked at the person she crashed into and saw it was Naruto. Hey there, Naruto, sorry about crashing into you, man. Rainbow apologized. Hey, are you guys alright? Asked Ditsy as she was flying towards them. Yeah, I'm fine, it'll take more than that to hurt me, said Naruto. Ahem, said Twilight to catch their attention. They noticed that she and Ditsy were sporting small blushes, while the former was covering Spike's eyes, and the latter was a little miffed. Can you two please get up already? There are children present. They looked down and noticed that they were in a very suggestive position, with rainbows straddling the grounded Naruto. They quickly got off of each other and got back to their feet. Both were sporting blushes, dusting themselves off while avoiding eye contact. Anyway, said Naruto, changing the subject. This is Rainbow Dash, the girl you were looking for, and the girl over there is Ditsy. Hello? Greeted Ditsy, waving at them. Hey, what up? Need something? Said Rainbow to greet them. Hello, my name is Twilight and this is Spike. Twilight greeting her back. And yes, I need to ask you a question. Let me guess, you want to know how to be cool as I am? Said Rainbow Dash, giving her arrogant smirk, not notice the face palms from Naruto and Ditsy. Ah, no. Twilight deadpanned. Why hasn't the sky been cleared yet? Don't worry, I can finish this in a jiffy, said Rainbow Dash, flying onto a cloud to relax on, which annoyed Twilight. Right after I finish my training. Training? She asked. She is training so that she can join the Wonderbolts, answered Naruto before looking at Ditsy. By the way, what are you doing here, Ditsy? After I left work, Rainbow asked me to help her with her training. How come you didn't try to make her get back to work? Asked Twilight, still annoyed by Rainbow Dash's dismissive attitude. Sorry, I tried to get her back to work, but she kept insisting on doing her training. Twilight gave an annoyed grunt before looking up at Rainbow Dash, who was still lounging on a cloud. Twilight glared at her before smiling as she formed an idea. So Rainbow Dash, you want to join the Wonderbolts, correct? Yep. Same Wonderbolts who are considered to be the elite flyers in all of Equestria. The very same. And you want to join them? Yeah, said Rainbow Dash, starting to get annoyed by all of the questions. I don't see that happening. What was that? Asked Rainbow in low tone, glaring at Twilight. I mean, why would the elite flyers of Equestria pick someone who can't even keep the sky cleared for one day? Said Twilight, not even fazed by the heated glare that Rainbow Dash was giving her. Hey, I can clear those clouds in 10-second flat, said Rainbow, getting into Twilight's face. Really? Asked Twilight with a challenging look. Really? Prove it. Rainbow Dash flew off and started smashing clouds left and right at high speeds. By the time she finished, Spike and Twilight were awed by how fast she was able to finish. See what I tell ya? 10 seconds flat, Rainbow Dash said in a smug voice. Actually, Rainbow Dash, chimed in Naruto, grabbing her attention. It was 8 seconds, seems you've gotten faster. Huh! Wow, I knew that extra training would pay off, but then again, I am just that awesome. Why couldn't she have done that in the first place? Ditsy mumbled under her breath, annoyed that they could have finished a lot sooner. Now that this problem has been cleared up, we must be going, said Twilight, snapping out of her stupor. Yeah, we better get going, said Naruto, walking beside Twilight and Spike. See you guys later. Bye, you guys. Both Rainbow and Ditsy called while waving. So where are we going next? Asked Twilight. Well, it says we should go check on the decorations at Town Hall, and then the last one would be the music, said Spike as he pulled up the scroll again. Got it, let's go. After they left and were out of earshot, Ditsy turned to Rainbow Dash with a glare. You did that on purpose, stated Ditsy, crossing her arms in disapproval. I don't know what you're talking about, said Rainbow Dash, adjusting her goggles, trying to avoid eye contact. Like I said before, it was an accident. So you just happened to accidentally land on top of Naruto? Said Ditsy in an accusing tone. Yep, she simply said, still pretending to fix her goggles. Ditsy kept looking at her before asking. So how did his muscles feel? Like soft chiseled rocks, she said before clamping her mouth shut. She looked at Ditsy, who was smirking at her. Yeah, an accident. The three had walked into the town hall. Twilight and Spike stared at the ribbons that adorned the pillars of the building in luxurious display of color and fashion. Good, she thought. It seems everything's in order here. Yeah, Rarity is all about perfection, piped in Naruto. Beautiful, said Spike unexpectedly with a dreaming look on his face. Twilight looked around the room before nodding with a satisfied smile. Yes, the decorations look quite beautiful, Twilight responded. But of course, nothing but the best for Princess Celestia. Anything less would be an insult to my skills and her, spoke a voice, giving a small scoff. I think he was talking about her, said Naruto, pointing at Rarity, who was still busy on hanging up decorations. Hey, Rarity. Not right now, Naruto, I'm almost done, said Rarity, putting the finishing touches on the wall before turning to them. Now what was it that you need, my goodness? She shouted suddenly, making the others jump. Naruto! What happened to you? She asked. Naruto looked himself over, wondering what she was talking about. It seemed due to Rainbow Dash crashing into him, he was now covered in dirt. Oh yeah, kinda got in a little accident with Rainbow when she was trying out one of her stunts. I knew she had something to do with it, that girl, I swear, sighed Rarity before she picked him up with her magic. Whoa! Hey Rarity, what are you doing? Screamed Naruto, trying to get himself back on the ground. As your friend, I cannot let you walk around town looking like that, she said before dragging a protesting Naruto out the door, with the other two following right behind them, one more eager than the other, and the latter wondering what she had done to deserve this punishment. And I don't want you out of this bathroom until you are spotless, ordered Rarity, closing the bathroom door. This seems a bit excessive, don't you think, Rarity? Groaned Naruto from behind the door. She opened it again, which earned her a startled yelp. I left some clean clothes on the counter, she said before closing the door. Rarity walked back downstairs to where Twilight and Spike were waiting for them. Sorry about that. It'll be a while before he finishes. In the meantime, why don't we try to get to know each other? She set some tea in front of them. My name is Rarity Rallure. I design clothes for a living, and this is my store, as well as my home, the Carousel Boutique, where everything is chic, unique, and magnific. My name is Dash, started Twilight before being interrupted by Spike. My name is Spike. I'm a Draconic, and I'm also single, said Spike excitedly, looking at her with admiration. Twilight rolled her eyes at her little brother/assistant's behavior. My, aren't you just the cutest little thing? Squealed Rarity, pinching his cheeks. Spike seemed to just melt at her touch. You must meet my little sister and her friends, you will get along with them just fine. Maybe next time. Anyway, my name is Twilight Sparkle, and I came all the way from Canterlot to Dash. Canterlot! Screamed Rarity, interrupting Twilight while getting close to her. You're from Canterlot? Why, yes, said Twilight, getting a little uncomfortable on how close Rarity was. Oh, the glamour, and the sophistication. Oh, how I envy you, Twilight. I would love nothing more than to live there and sell my dresses in Canterlot, said Rarity with her eyes sparkling at the very thought. Before she could ask anything else, she was interrupted by a voice. Hey guys, I'm finished, announced Naruto as he came down the stairs. Naruto was wearing a rustic orange button shirt with the sleeves folded up to the elbow. He had dark blue jeans and a pair of black dress shoes. Thanks for the clothes, Rarity, though it wasn't really necessary, said Naruto. Rarity shook her head, smiling at Naruto. Nonsense, I couldn't have one of my friends walk around town like some kind of Neanderthal. It was just a little dirt. That's no excuse. Twilight was starting to get really tired and really annoyed by today, and her being late was not helping her sour mood. I believe it is time to go, don't you think? Said Twilight, interrupting them from their conversation. The celebration is going to start tonight, and we have to check the music. Right, nodded Naruto. Rarity, do you know where Shigiya went? I didn't see him with you. Rarity gained a small frown. Yes, he said something about visiting Fluttershy. I guess that will be our next stop, said Twilight, dragging Spike out the door while he tried to get out of her grip. Naruto was about to follow them before remembering something. By the way, where did you put my clothes? I have them in the wash right now. I'll bring them back when done. Naruto gave her a grateful smile. Thanks, Rarity. I'll bring back your clothes tomorrow. Rarity waved him off. Keep them, consider them as a gift. Thanks, Rarity. Thank nothing of it, darling, just helping one of my close friends is all. We'll see you later. Wait, Naruto dear, Rarity called out, stopping Naruto. I was wondering if you were willing to offer me a dance during the celebration? She asked with some hope in her voice. Naruto smiled at her. Sure. Rarity felt ecstatic from his answer. Anything for a friend. And like that her mood went down. She was hoping that he would see her more as a friend after the offer. Oh well, she will have to make her move when they do their dance. See you tonight, Naruto. Yeah, you too. After leaving Rarity's boutique, Naruto, Twilight, and Spike walked down the road, heading to the edge of town. So the last thing on the list is music, said Spike, looking at the list in hands. Good, said Twilight. Then I can finally get back to the problem at hand. What problem? Asked Naruto. If you want, I can help you out. It's nothing that you need to worry about, Twilight said curtly. I only need help from Spike and the princess. Okay, I understand, it's a personal problem, said Naruto, putting his hands up in mock surrender. I won't butt in again. Naruto moved up further slightly. Sheesh, Twilight, you didn't have to be so harsh on him. He was just trying to help, said Spike, giving Twilight disappointed glare, in turn making her sigh. Fine, you're right, said Twilight. I should go apologize to him. Twilight walked up to him and tapped him on the shoulder, trying to get his attention. Excuse me, Naruto? I wanted to apologize for my rude behavior. Hey, don't worry about it. I shouldn't have eavesdropped in the first place. Don't worry, I shouldn't have been so rude to you. You were only trying to help. It's fine, but if you don't mind me asking, what's the problem? It's okay if you still don't want to tell me. Twilight looked at him, before putting on a serious look. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, she said, letting out a small sigh. Try me, said Naruto, giving her a reassuring smile. Twilight looked at him for a bit before letting out a small breath. Okay, started Twilight. Well, after reading a book on old lore on my free time, one of the stories piqued my interest. So I started to do some research on it, and I found out that the lore is true and that the prophecy will come true. What prophecy? The return of Nightmare Moon. Silence came between them, as Naruto looked at Twilight with an unreadable expression. See, I knew you wouldn't believe me, said Twilight angrily, snapping Naruto out of it. No, it's not that, it's just who's Nightmare Moon? Who's that? Are you serious? Naruto just nodded his head. Well, she was the sister of Princess Celestia, who tried to usurp her rule to become the sole ruler of Equestria and bring eternal night. Wait, Nightmare Moon is Princess Celestia's sister? Yes, she was once the Princess of the Moon, as well as the co-ruler of Equestria. No one seems to remember her real name, as it been lost through time. So why did she rebel against her sister? Well, it said that the reason was because everyone loved Princess Celestia and her sunny days, while everyone slept through her nights, making her believe that they were shunning her night, which made her jealous of her sister. So what happened next? Said Naruto, enthralled with the story. Well, she refused to lower the moon when Princess Celestia brought out the sun. Nightmare Moon told her she will never bring the moon down, and that she would take the kingdom from her and become the sole ruler of Equestria. Princess Celestia tried pleading with her to stop what she was doing, but she refused to listen. So Princess Celestia had no choice but to confront her sister and stop her. As you can guess, she couldn't destroy her sister, for how could someone destroy their own family, especially their only sister? So she had no choice but to use powerful artifacts known as the Elements of Harmony, to send her sister to the moon. So for 1,000 years, Princess Celestia ruled Equestria as its only ruler and gained control over both the sun and the moon. Okay, but question? Yes. What are the Elements of Harmony? I don't know, I was hoping to get more information on them at the library. Well, what are you planning to do once you get to the library? I'm going to find the location of the Elements of Harmony and use them against Nightmare Moon. But why are you here as an inspector instead of looking for them, the Elements of Harmony? I was ordered by the princess to be here. Really? Did you tell her what was happening? Yes, she said to stop reading those dusty old books and to try to make some friends. How is making friends going to help me find and stop Nightmare Moon? I'm asking, tell me. Well, I think there's got to be a reason behind it, don't you think? What do you mean? Well, Princess Celestia never did say to stop looking further into this. Well, no, she never did. So I'm thinking maybe the key to this problem is you making some friends. But I just don't see how making friends will stop Nightmare Moon. Well, maybe later on you might, but you got to try to make some friends before you can truly see the value of friendship. For now we got to get going. It's getting late and we still have one more place to go before I take you to the library. Twilight skeptically thought about what Naruto had said while still following him, with Spike right behind her. After reaching the edge of town, they walked down the path that led to a cottage. As they reached the cottage, they started to hear tweeting accompanied by a sweet, soft voice. Ah la la la. As they approached, they spotted a woman with pink hair. She was floating in the air with a choir of birds perched on a tree with a black-haired man sitting under the tree, inspecting a guitar. The one who was singing is Fluttershy and one with the guitar is Shigiya, who are two of the four in charge of the music. The other two are Vinyl and Octavia, who are back in town setting up the equipment. Thank you for telling me. Twilight walked up to where Fluttershy and Shigiya were. Hello there! Twilight shouted, scaring the birds and as well as Fluttershy, whose wings disappeared, causing her to fall. She was caught by Shigiya before she hit the ground. Seriously, Fluttershy, you got to stop being so easily startled, you could get hurt badly. Sorry, I couldn't help it. It's fine, Fluttershy, just be careful, okay? Fluttershy nodded as Naruto and the others came up to them, just as Shigiya put her down. I'm sorry, didn't mean to scare you or your birds, apologized Twilight, giving them a small bow. Fluttershy didn't say anything, she just hid her face in her hair while behind Shigiya. He alone muttered a small sigh because of Fluttershy's behavior. It's fine, no one got hurt, right? Anyway, how can I help you? Do you need something? Yes, I'm the supervisor of the festival, and I came here see how the music was coming along. It's going great. We were just finishing the entrance music. If it's not too much trouble, may I hear the music, please? Sure, Shigiya said, grabbing the guitar that he was inspecting. I hope you don't mind me borrowing Naruto for a bit, kinda need him for this, he said. Come on, let's get this over with. Got it. By the way, what's up with the clothes? Shigiya looked Naruto over again. Let me guess. Rarity? He said, more than a statement than a question. Yeah, you know Rarity. You really gotta stop letting her use a dress-up doll. It's fine, I get free clothes out of it at least. Yeah, I guess. Ahem. Their conversation was interrupted by Twilight, annoyed that they were being ignored. Can we get this underway? Fine, said Shigiya, readying his guitar. Ready? Ready. Here Comes the Sun, by the Beatles. Thank you Unknown 4804 for the suggestion. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. And I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. And I say it's all right. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. And I say it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. And I say it's all right. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. It's all right, it's all right. Everybody was silent once Naruto finished the last of the lyrics. The sound of birds from before flapping back onto the tree. Whew, that was awesome! Do another one, encore, encore! Spike said excitedly, clapping and whistling, scaring the birds off again. It was really great, said Fluttershy, back to her normal self and giving soft small claps, amazed by Naruto's singing. Yes, quite good, at least the main music is finished, said Twilight, clapping as well but a little bit louder. Thanks guys, really like the positive feedback, but it was really last-minute product, said Shigiya, putting the guitar on his back. Still, it was still amazing that you made it last night. Since everything seems to be in check, can you take me to the library? Sure, said Naruto, leading Twilight to town. Once they were out of earshot, Shigiya let out a deep sigh. Fuck, he said before noticing Fluttershy glaring at him, causing him to flinch. Shigiya, what have we talked about your cursing? Sorry, but come on. That idiot got another girl hooked on him. How many girls is he going to get? Said Shigiya, letting out a sigh, not noticing Fluttershy flinching from his comment. Well, whatever, we better get to Pinkie's party before she comes after us. Shigiya and Fluttershy began following them to town as well. By the time they reached the library, the sun was already setting. They reached a giant that had been hollowed out to be used as a public library, with a sign next to the door that said Golden Oak Library. Ah, here we are, the library. Thank you, Naruto, for showing me around. No prob. But it's late and I have things I have to do. Come along, Spike, said Twilight, pushing Spike through the door, waving goodbye. Before long, Naruto held up his hand as he and Shigiya covered their ears. 4. Why are you guys counting down? Asked Twilight while she tried to look for some candles. 3, 2, 1. Surprise! A crowd shouted as they appeared with the lights. Well, we better go in and help them out, come on guys, said Naruto, who went inside the library with Shigiya and Fluttershy following right behind him. Once inside, they saw that Twilight was surrounded by some of the partygoers as well as the girls. Hey guys and Fluttershy, glad that you were able to make it, said Pinkie, startling the three of them before handing them some punch. How do you like my welcome party? I am extra super duper positive that Twilight and Spike loved the surprise, she said as she pointed at Spike, who was having the time of his life. and Twilight, who was with the other girls but left in a hurry through one of the doors. I guess she's shy. Pinkie smiled and looked at Fluttershy. Look at that, Fluttershy, there's a good chance you two can be the bestest of friends. Hello, you who over here? Rarity called out to them with the other girls. Hey girls, how's it going? Said Naruto, taking a drink. Oh, you know, enjoying another one of Pinkie Pie's soiree. We also wanted to get to know the new girl, said Rainbow Dash, with the rest of the girls agreeing with her. Yeah, right, said Shigiya, who was inspecting his cup before putting it on one of the tables. I bet all you guys just came to check the newest competition. I don't know what you're talking about, said Rainbow Dash, finding the ceiling interesting, while the others tried not to look in Naruto's direction, who seemed confused by their reaction. Yeah, that's what I thought, he said before leaving to get another cup. What did he mean by competition? Asked Naruto. It was nothing, dear. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Nothing, Sugar Cube. It's nothing, Naruto. Naruto looked at them as they all answered at the same time. Enough talking, let's party, said Rainbow Dash. Everyone cheered and went to mingle. You guys party, I'm going to check on Twilight, said Naruto, walking towards the door he saw Twilight go through. Hey Twilight, are you up there? Asked Naruto as he went up some stairs. Go away, came a muffled voice. I don't want to talk to anyone right now. I'm coming in. Naruto went into the room and saw Twilight laying on a bed, with her head under some pillows. Are you okay? Asked Naruto while he sat down on the bed. No, said Twilight as she sat up and threw the pillow on the ground. There's an evil archangel coming back from 1,000-year imprisonment, ready to plunge in an everlasting night, and everyone are downstairs partying. Twilight brought her knees to her chest. And I still don't know where the elements harmony are. Silence had overtaken the room, as they sat there listening to the people party downstairs. Man, you have a lot on your plate, don't ya? Said Naruto as he laid on the bed. Twilight just groaned as she laid on her back, as well. What if I'm wrong about Nightmare Moon? Then you get to relax, party, and have fun. And if I'm right? Then we kick her ass and stop her plans. Can it be that simple? Especially against overwhelming odds? No, but it doesn't mean that we're just going to stand there and do nothing, right? Yes, but Dash. Hey Twilight, where are you? Said Spike from downstairs. Up here, Spike. The sun is almost going to come up, we got hurry to town hall. Well, we better get going and what happens, happens, said Naruto, as he went downstairs. And let's just hope to Celestia that I'm wrong, Twilight said as she gave a glance to the moon, before following Naruto downstairs. Twilight never noticed the moon release a small flash before going back to normal. Everything was bustling at town hall. Everyone was excited to see Princess Celestia rise the sun. Are you guys excited? I know I am, I'm so excited, exclaimed Pinkie as she stood with the rest of the girls. Yeah, can't wait to see the princess do her thing, said Applejack as she tried to keep Pinkie in place. I bet it's going awesome when she raises the sun, right, Ditzy? I'm just happy that my kids get to see the princess in person, though I am also excited to see the princess as well, said Ditzy. I'm excited that I finally get to see the princess, said Naruto as he stood behind them. Hey, where's that Canterlot chick and the kid? Asked Rainbow Dash. They said they were going to try get an audience with the princess or something like that. The mayor of the town then approached the stage, and after spotting her, the crowd released a loud cheer. Welcome everyone! Without further ado, let's give a nice warm applause to the one and only ruler of Equestria, as well as the sun and moon. The curtains were then opened by Rarity. Princess Celestia! Everyone gave a massive cheer, but it started to die down once they noticed that the princess was not coming out. Rarity looked into the room as she gasped. She's gone, said Rarity in surprise, as everyone gasped as well. Oh no, whispered Twilight in shock and fear. Spike was able to overhear what she said. Hey Twilight, what's wrong? We have to get out of here, before Twilight could finish, the doors and windows all slammed shut. A crack of thunder was heard as a storm was starting to form in the room. An evil cackle started to echo, and with a flash of light, everyone was blinded momentarily. Once they could see again, they saw someone standing on the balcony. "She's here," said Twilight, with fear laced in her voice. "Who's she, Twilight?" asked Spike, hiding behind her, getting scared. "Hello, my dear subjects, did you miss me?" said the person, in mocking voice. "Nightmare Moon. It's so nice to see my little sun-loving subjects," said the woman with sneer, glaring at the people. The woman, whose beauty almost betrayed her intimidating appearance, had olive skin with a heart-shaped face. She was a tall woman, taller than anyone in the room. She had a slender hourglass figure that most women would kill to even come close to matching. She was wearing a dark blue rounded helm with a spiral horn on the top of the forehead. The dark blue shoulders were fairly rounded, wide and large in size, and decorated with a crescent moon on each side. The upper arms were protected by squared, half-covering braces which sat loosely under the shoulder plates. The lower arms covered by vambrace, which had a row of long, curved spikes on the outer sides. The breastplate was made from one large piece of metal, but the lower part was crafted to mimic the appearance of pecs. It covered almost everything from the neck down, narrowing near the groin and leaving part the sides exposed. The upper legs were covered by squared, half-covering cuisses. The lower legs were protected by greaves which had a large curved spike on the front. "Who are you? What have you done with the princess?" demanded Rainbow Dash, ready to charge at the woman, but was held back by Applejack. "Hold on, girl, we don't know what we're dealing with here," said Applejack as she held Rainbow Dash down from approaching the menacing figure. "Does my crown mean nothing now?" said the Dark Warrior, with anger lacing her words. "Do none of you know who I am?" Oh, is it Meanie McGrumpy Pants? Oh wait, is it Black Snooty Head, Pinkie suggested. Before she could say anything else to anger the woman, Shigiya stuffed a cupcake in her mouth. "I know who you are," said Twilight, catching her attention. She looked at the woman with fear in her eyes, hiding Spike behind her. "The Lady of the Moon, Nightmare Moon. At least someone knows who I am. Tell me, peasant, what is thy name?" "My name is Twilight Sparkle, and I demand you tell us what you have done with Princess Celestia." After hearing her response, Nightmare Moon's calm demeanor turned hostile. "You have no right to demand from me anything, you cur!" She raised her hand and aimed it at Twilight, before firing a bolt of lightning at her. She was pushed out of the way by Naruto before it could hit her. "If you ever attack my friends again, I'll make you regret the day you were ever born," said Naruto coldly, making the others shiver from the intensity. Nightmare Moon was surprised by the tone since no one has spoken to her like that in a long time. "Seize her, only she knows where the princess is," said the mayor, sending the guards after her. The guards flew at her, weapons drawn, ready to cut her down. "You fools!" screamed Nightmare Moon as she sent a magical pulse outwards with her sword. The pulse blasted the guards back, sending them into the walls, crowd, tables, and pillars. "Hear me, subjects," said Nightmare Moon, getting the crowd's attention once more. "Your Princess of the Sun is no more. I am your sole ruler now, and the night shall last forever," she screamed. With another flash of lightning, she was gone. "Find her, we must save the princess!" yelled the mayor, as some of the guards who were still conscious flew off to find her. "Come on, guys, we got to do something," said Rainbow Dash as she got ready to move. "Like what? We don't even know where she went," said Shigiya as he sat in one of the chairs. "I might know someone who could know where she went," said Naruto, as he watched Twilight and Spike running out the building and heading towards the public library. "Applejack, get Applebloom and go home. I don't want you two getting hurt. Don't worry about me, I can take care of myself. There is no way am I letting you go after her on your own. I'll have Big Mac take her back to the farm," said Applejack. "Yeah, like we're just going to let you fight her all by yourself," said Rainbow Dash. "I cannot simply allow you to go face that fiend alone," said Rarity as she stood next to him. "I don't want any of you to get hurt," said Fluttershy. I want to help too," said Pinkie Pie excitedly, jumping on his back. "Are you all sure about this? It will get dangerous." They all nodded except for Ditzy. "What about you, Ditzy?" I'm sorry guys, I want to help but I gotta make sure my kids are okay, she said with guilt on her face. It's okay Ditzy, we understand, family comes first, said Naruto as he patted her on the shoulder. Go check on your kids, we'll handle Nightmare Moon ourselves. The others nodding in agreement. Thank you guys, and good luck but please be careful, said Ditzy, leaving them to look for her children. Okay guys. Next stop, the library. Elements of harmony, elements of harmony, elements of harmony, repeated Twilight as she searched through books that she levitated in front of her. Ugh, nothing on the elements of harmony. She screamed in frustration before throwing the book next to the pile of books that she had already searched through. Are you working for Nightmare Moon? Are you a spy? Questioned Rainbow Dash after bursting into the library and getting into Twilight's face, scaring her. Calm down, RD, she's not a spy, said Naruto, pulling her away from Twilight as the rest came into the library. But she does know what's going on, don't you, Twilight? Yes. Hey, where's the little kid that was with you? Shigiya asked, noticing that Spike wasn't with her. He's been up all night, so I had put him to sleep. Good, don't want the little guy getting involved in this crazy mess, said Shigiya, letting out a tired sigh. Now why the fuck is there a 1,000-year-old bitch hell-bent on bringing eternal night? Shigiya! Language! Scolded Rarity. I don't give shit right now, Rarity, so shove it, said Shigiya. All I want to hear right now is how we are going to stop that nightmare bitch. Well, we can stop her by using the elements of harmony. Okay, now where are they? I don't know. Twilight grabbed another book before she started to skim through it. I'm looking through every book in the library, but still nothing on the elements of harmony. Elements of Harmony, a reference guide, said Pinkie as she held the book in her hands before it was taken from her. Where did you find it? Asked Twilight as she skimmed through the book. It was under E. said Pinkie Pie in a sing-song voice while twirling around Twilight. Twilight had to stop herself from smacking her face from the simplicity of the answer, but decided to get back on track. So where are they? Asked Naruto. The last known location of the elements are in the castle of the two sisters located in the Everfree Forest. As Twilight finished reading the passage, she noticed that everyone had gone quiet. Hey, are you sure it said the Everfree Forest? Asked Applejack with a hint of fear in her voice, breaking the silence. Yes, why? What wrong? Asked Twilight as she noticed that most of them seemed hesitant, except for Naruto and Shigiya. Well, started Applejack. The Everfree Forest ain't like the rest of Equestria. The trees grow by themselves, said Rarity. The animals take care of themselves, said Fluttershy. And the clouds move all on their own, said Applejack and Rainbow Dash together. Fucking terrifying, said Shigiya, unimpressed by what he just heard, before walking out the door. Let's go, I want to get this night over with already. The Everfree Forest is not as scary as you make it sound, you know, said Naruto as he followed Shigiya. Who said anything about us being scared? Said Rainbow Dash as she followed behind them. I'm not letting you go by yourselves, said Applejack as she followed them as well. We cannot just let our friends fight a powerful archangel by themselves. Come on girls, let's go, said Rarity as the rest of the girls left, except for Twilight who just stood there, trying to understand why everyone was trying so hard to help her. Come on Twilight, we got a spooky castle to find, called out Pinkie Pie. Twilight put these thoughts on hold for a later date. She had a mission to accomplish. So what else is there to the forest? Asked Twilight as she looked around in her surroundings after entering the Everfree Forest. Some of the girls had stuck close to Naruto and Shigiya, but more close to Naruto, as they seemed to not be fazed by the environment. Do you really want to know? Said Rainbow Dash with mischief in her voice. Here we go, said Shigiya as he started to rub his forehead in annoyance. Because once you go into the Everfree Forest, Rainbow Dash walked to the girls, menacing, scaring the girls. You never come out. Once she said that, the whole cliffside that they were on had collapsed, everyone screaming as they fell. Naruto, Applejack and Shigiya grabbed onto some branches and roots before Naruto grabbed Rarity, while Shigiya grabbed Pinkie Pie and Applejack had grabbed Twilight. Great, said Shigiya with a groan. I got Little Miss Sugar Rush, fantastic. Ah, Shiggy, don't be like that, I know you like hanging around me, said Pinkie Pie smiling, giving Shigiya a hug. Whatever, grunted out Shigiya before climbed down with Pinkie hanging on his back. Are you okay, Rarity? Asked Naruto. Yes, I'm fine, dear, said Rarity as she hugged him tighter. Good, said Naruto. Now let's get down from here, try to get on my back. Okay. Rarity started to shift around to get on his back. Okay, now hold on tight, he said before he started to climb down. Once they reached the bottom, they found that everyone else was there as well. Is everyone okay? Asked Naruto as he put Rarity down. Yeah, it was touch and go there for a sec, but we were able to pull through, said Applejack as she looked at Twilight, who looked a little shaken, before Applejack put her hand on her shoulder to calm her down, which seemed to work. Yeah, said Twilight quietly, before turning to Applejack. Thank you, Applejack. No problem, Sugar Cube, that's what friends are for, she said with a smile. Come on, guys, said Rainbow Dash, heading to direction to the castle. Everyone else started to follow her, all except Naruto. He seemed to be distracted by something. Hey Naruto, what's wrong, man? Asked Shigiya, seeing his friend zoning out. I feel like there's something watching us, said Naruto as he looked around the forest. Well, we are in the Everfree Forest, where a lot of carnivores live here that want to eat us, so it's sorta to be expected, you know. Yeah, but it feels more menacing. Really? Asked Shigiya and was given a nod. Should we be worried? Just be ready for anything, said Naruto, following the girls. Fine, said Shigiya as he followed behind them, more alert, never noticing the blue mist pass above them. After getting past the illusionary trees, thanks to, much to Shigiya's dread, Pinkie's singing, they were able to make it to a clearing. We're almost there, just past this clearing and we'll be at the castle, said Twilight as they got to the center. They started to hear flapping. What's that noise, Dash? Get down! Screamed Naruto, pushing Twilight down, as a pair of claws were about to grab them. Roro! Screamed the creature as it landed in front of them. Are you for real? What is that doing here? Said Shigiya, looking at the creature in front of them. The creature in question looked to be a lion, but that's where the similarities end. On its head it had a pair of horns, pointing inwards. On its upper back were a pair of bat wings and had a scorpion stinger for a tail. Is that a manticore? Asked Twilight as they kept their eyes on it. Yep, said Naruto as he started down the manticore. Just as they were going to engage it, they started to hear growling from behind them. For creator's sake, you've got to be kidding me, said Shigiya as they saw a pack of timberwolves coming out from the forest. This is completely bullshit, man. Girls, said Naruto, getting their attention while still focusing on the timberwolves. You all focus on the manticore, while Shigiya and I take care of the timberwolves. Everyone understand? Yes. Okay, go, said Naruto, as he and Shigiya rushed at the timberwolves. Why the hell are they here? This is not their territory, asked Shigiya as he kicked one that lunged at him, before punching another one in the head. I don't know, but something about these timberwolves doesn't feel right, said Naruto as he dodged a bite before kneeing at the brisket. I'm betting that nightmare bitch had something to do with this, just like all of the other shit that has been happening to us, said Shigiya as he grabbed one by the head, throwing him back at the other wolves. But there is something familiar about them, said Naruto. What? Other than the fact that they attacked us before. No, it's just that something about them feels familiar. Naruto looked at where the girls were and noticed that the manticore was purring as Fluttershy scratched its fur. Well shit, I guess I got worried for nothing, said Shigiya, before he started to squint his eyes. What happened to Fluttershy's hair? Way to go, Fluttershy, said Naruto, praising Fluttershy after hearing what happened with the manticore. Awesome job, Shigiya said, giving praise as well. Fluttershy just blushed after receiving all the praise from her friends. Come on, we still have a ways to go before reaching the castle, said Twilight, with the others following behind her. They reached a river that led to the castle, but there was rapid waves blocking their path. They began trying to figure out a way to cross the river. They started to hear rushing water and crying. As they got closer to the noise, they saw a giant purple sea serpent crying, unknowingly causing rapid waves to the river. Boo-hoo-hoo! Cried out the serpent, still not noticing the group approaching him. Hey Basilth, said Shigiya as he talked to the serpent, trying to get his attention. Yes? Who called me? Said the now named Basilth, before noticing there were some strangers in front of him, and then realizing Shigiya and Naruto with them. Naruto, Shigiya, how are you two doing? Said Basilth, before he started to cover his face. Wait, don't look at me, I look simply dreadful. What are you talking about, man? You look fine, said Shigiya, not seeing anything wrong with his friend. Thank you for the kind words, but look at what happened to my mustache, said Basilth, uncovering his face, showing his mustache. One part of the mustache was perfectly groomed, while the other cut off. The only one to gasp in horror was Rarity. What happened to your mustache? Asked Naruto. Well, I was heading home after my family reunion, like I told you before, when this tacky little blue mist sped by me, and just cuts off my mustache for no reason, he said before he started to get depressed again. Now I look simply horrible. That's it, he's crying over some bad facial hair? Said Rainbow Dash in disbelief, wondering how someone can cry over such a trivial thing. How can you all be so insensitive? Said Rarity, walking up to Basilth. Look at his well-groomed hair. Oh, I know. His perfectly manicured claws. Oh, I know. And his beautifully polished scales. I know. All ruined because of your mustache. Oh, I know, cried Basilth, as he started splashing water, soaking the girls and Shigiya, while Naruto was able to avoid thanks to his amazing reflexes. Fuck man, I hate getting my clothes wet, grumbled Shigiya, was wringing out his shirt. He looked at Naruto, seeing he was the only one that didn't get wet, but then he saw his face was beet red. He looked at what was bothering him, and couldn't stop a smile from forming on his face at the sight before them. Naruto was about to laugh at them until he looked at the girls. Naruto felt his face burn and his pants get a little tighter. It seems all of the girls' wet clothes had clung onto their bodies, showing off their amazing figures and leaving little to his imagination. Naruto watched as water slowing fell down their bodies. Who's the pervert now? Said Shigiya, smiling, seeing Naruto was looking at the girls. Naruto blushed for getting caught, and by Shigiya of all people. Shut up. The girls were not listening to their conversation as they were busy trying to get dry. Rarity and Twilight dried them off with their magic as pulled the water off of them. Do not worry, Rarity will fix this problem, the girl herself exclaimed as she walked closer to Basilth. She used her magic to grab one of Basilth's scales, before yanking it out. Ouch! Yelped Basilth, before glaring at Rarity. What did you do that for? Instead of answering, Rarity levitated the scale towards her head, and using her magic again to pull on her hair, then using the scale to cut her hair. Everyone was surprised at Rarity for what she had done. Rarity levitated her hair up to Basilth's cut mustache before fusing them together, and changing it to match the color. Now you look smashing. Ooh, thank you so much, said Basilth as he checked his reflection in the water. How can I ever repay you? No need, I just happy I could help with such a serious problem. Oh Rarity, your beautiful hair, said Fluttershy, as she looked at Rarity's once long hair which now barely reached her shoulders now. Don't worry dear, short hair was all the rage this season, said Rarity with a bit of disappointment in her voice, trying to fix her new hairstyle. Besides, it'll grow back. So what of the mustache? Whispered Rainbow Dash to the others. Well, we better get going, said Naruto, ready to start it to walk through the water. Wait, said Basilth. Allow me. He went into the water, before using his body as a bridge. Everyone started crossing, glad that they didn't have to get wet again. Thanks Basilth, said Naruto, waving at Basilth. See ya, hope you have great family reunion. Yeah, don't be afraid to bring us souvenirs, okay? Bye fellas, bring that little friend of yours next time you plan on visiting, she's a real treat, said Basilth, before leaving as well. So how do you guys know him? Asked Rainbow Dash, curious on how they were friends with the sea serpent. We met him a month ago when Shigiya and I went camping. You guys go camping? Asked Rarity. Yeah, once or twice a week on the weekend, said Naruto. So that's why I never see you guys on the weekend, said Rainbow Dash. So where do you guys camp at? Whitetail Forest? Rainbow Falls? Pfft, no, said Shigiya, smiling like he heard something funny. Those are too easy and get crowded on the weekend. No, we go camping here in the Everfree Forest. What? Are you crazy? Screamed Applejack, finally speaking up. I knew you guys went camping, but I didn't think you guys would go camping here of all places. It's not as bad as you guys think it is, it's only dangerous when you go deep into the forest, said Naruto, trying to calm them down, though he didn't tell them that Shigiya insisted on camping there anyway. I don't see what's the big deal is. I mean, I live in the Everfree Forest. You're kidding? Asked Rainbow Dash, looking at Shigiya in disbelief. No, he's not lying, piped in Naruto. He was also surprised learning that Shigiya lived in the Everfree. Guys, said Twilight, interrupting their conversation. As much as the conversation is as interesting as it is, we got to focus. The castle is just up ahead. Just as she finished saying that, they started to see the castle, which they were able to see clearly under the moonlight. They noticed that the only way to the castle was to cross the bridge, but it seemed to be disconnected from the other side. How are we going to get across now? Said Pinkie Pie, staring at the deep cavern before she threw a rock into it. After a while she finally heard the rock, but it was faint. Hello, Wings here, said Rainbow Dash as she floated above them. I'll get this bridge all fixed up in no time. Rainbow Dash flew to the other side of the cliff. She was about to get the end of the bridge until she started to hear someone calling her name. Rainbow Dash, said the voice from beyond the fog. Rainbow Dash, come here, Rainbow Dash. Who's there? Show yourself, said Rainbow Dash, landing on the cliff, putting her fist up, ready to fight for any incoming threat. She was able to see a pair of glowing yellow eyes. Don't worry, Rainbow Dash, we didn't come here to fight you, we came here to ask you to become one of us, said the voice as they finally revealed themselves. Who are you guys? Asked Rainbow Dash. We are the Shadowbolts, the greatest flyers in all of Equestria, said the female in the middle, and we've come to ask you to join us. Why? Because we heard that you are one of the greatest flyers in all of Equestria. So true, said Rainbow Dash. And thank you for the offer, but I'm not looking to be part of any group, said Rainbow Dash, getting ready to fly until she heard the next part. We want you to be our leader. What? Oh yes, said the female, smiling with victory's smirk. We came here to ask one of the greatest flyers to lead us, and become the greatest in all of the greatest in all of Equestria. Again, I'm no Dash. You could get Naruto by your side, she said, smiling like she had won the lottery. What? Said Rainbow Dash, blushing, being caught off guard. Yes. She started walking up to Rainbow Dash. Become our leader, and you can impress him enough that he will ask you to be his girlfriend, maybe even his wife. Rainbow Dash stood there thinking everything that had said up to this point. Hi Dash. Hey Rainbow Dash? Where are you? Yelled Naruto as well as he tried to look for her through fog. Yeah, hurry up, we don't got all night, yelled Shigiya, getting tired of waiting for her. Yes we do. Remember? Said Pinkie like it was the most obvious thing. Shut it, Pinkie! Screamed Shigiya, which earned him a raspberry from her. Then she could not hear them no more as the fog got thicker. So what do you say, Rainbow Dash? Asked the female once more. Leave your friends, become one of us, and get Naruto, or go help them and lose it all? Rainbow Dash gave a small pause, before taking a deep breath. Thanks for the offer, guys, said Rainbow Dash, making the Shadowbolts, making them smile in victory. But I have to decline your offer. I just can't abandon my friends, no matter how tempting the offer. Rainbow Dash flew down to where the other end of the bridge was and taking it to where her friends were. Hey guys, how's it going? She said as Shoandi next to them. What took you so long, RD? Asked Naruto. You were out there for a while. Sorry, it was kinda hard to find it in all that fog. Fine, whatever, said Shigiya rudely, earning him a glare from Rainbow Dash. "Let's just go get those elements of harmony, and kick that bitch's ass," said Shigiya, crossing the bridge. "You heard him, let's go finish this now," said Twilight, as they started to cross the bridge as well. "Well, this is where they are," said Twilight as they stepped in through two giant wooden doors. When they got inside, the only thing inside was a pedestal with 5 sphere-shaped rocks. "But we're still missing one," said Naruto, remembering that there was supposed to be 6 of them. "We don't have time or any choice right now. I'm going to try to activate them without the last element, maybe it might reveal where it is," said Twilight, stepping in front of the elements. "Everyone please stand back, it could get dangerous." Everyone had stepped back as they were told. Seeing her levitating the elements around her, Twilight started to infuse her magic into them, but stopped when nothing had happened. She then laid them down on the ground. "Why won't it work? What's missing?" asked Twilight, winded from exerting too much energy. Before anyone could say anything, they started to hear cackling in the room. On the center of the pedestal, a dark purple mist started to swirl around, forming Nightmare Moon. She appeared in front of the elements. She looked at them before turning her gaze to the elements. She brought her hand forward, with it glowing as the same glow wrapped around the elements. They started to levitate around Nightmare Moon. With one swift grip of her hand, she destroyed the elements to pieces. "Makes it all the easier to get enough you all," she said, mocking before giving them an evil smirk. "Bring it on, bitch! I ain't afraid to kick your demonic ass," yelled Shigiya, getting in a fighting stance. "Yeah, if you want Equestria, you have to go through us first," said Rainbow Dash, with her and the other getting in a fighting stance as well. "Hey, gladly," said Nightmare Moon, before charging at them, sword drawn. She first targeted Twilight as she was the closest, but was interrupted by Applejack, attested to drop kick her. She jumped back and kicked Applejack away. She dodged another attack from Shigiya, who was using a pillar to strike her, but she blocked it with her sword, and used it to destroy the pillar. "Well, fuck." Shigiya dodged a slash from her sword before giving kick to head. She easily dodged the attack before blasting him to the wall, knocking him out. She moved again as Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie both moved to attack her. Rainbow Dash was aiming to punch her in the face while Pinkie Pie was aiming to kick her in the stomach. She dodges Rainbow Dash, as she ducked and blocked Pinkie's kick. She grabbed Pinkie Pie's leg, and threw her at Rainbow Dash, slamming both of them on the wall. "How can she be so strong?" groaned Rainbow, getting Pinkie off her, before checking if she was okay. "I guess this is the power of an archangel's," said Naruto, amazed by the skills she had displayed. Rarity levitated some rocks that were around her before firing them at Nightmare, but she was able to block them easily with her sword. She was going to move towards her but was interrupted by Naruto, who tried to punch her in the face. Nightmare Moon jumped back before delivering an uppercut. Naruto barely had time to dodge it. Naruto tried to punch her again, but instead of dodging, she grabbed his wrist and prepared for another uppercut. Naruto punched her in the face as hard as he could before she had a chance to hit him. She staggered back, trying to get her balance back after skull bashed. Nightmare tried to regain her focus before standing back tall again. Nightmare was again surprised by this individual. "I must admit, that actually stung," she said as she stood up straight. "Not many are able to hurt me, so I commend your strength." She turned to Twilight, who was shivered in fear when she looked at her. "You on the other hand are weak, you who just watched your comrades fight, while you hide like sniveling coward that you are," she said, with each insult causing Fluttershy to flinch. Nightmare Moon sneered at her reaction. "Pathetic. You leave her alone, you ruffian," yelled Rarity, as started to use her magic again but instead was pushed against the wall. "In my kingdom, the strong shall live, and the weak will perish," said Nightmare Moon, as her sword started to glow a violet purple, giving off a small hum. She looked at Twilight with a look of disgust. "And those that defy me shall suffer." Nightmare Moon fired another bolt of energy, but this time it was bigger than the last one. Everyone was screaming at Twilight to get out of the way or to move, but she didn't, as she was paralyzed in fear. She shut her eyes, preparing for her demise. Instead of feeling the blast, she felt something or someone pushed her. She opened her eyes and gasped. The one that pushed her out of the way was Naruto, before he was blasted away. "Naruto!" screamed the girls, as they watched him get blasted to the pedestal, destroying it. Twilight ran to him. She saw that he was buried under some of the rubble with cuts and burn marks littering his body. "Oh, sweet Celestia, Naruto!" said Twilight, see Naruto's condition. "Don't worry, Naruto, we'll get you some medical help. Please hang on." Even when she removed the last of the debris, Naruto had still laid there unconscious, bleeding from his wounds. Twilight felt guilty seeing the person that saved her in such a state. If she ever get through this mess alive, she should really thank her teacher for teaching her healing magic. "Why?" Twilight asked, shedding some tears seeing how badly hurt he was protecting her. "Why would he do that for a complete stranger?" "Because you're my friend." Twilight looked at Naruto, who was coughing up some blood and wheezing, before he started to breathe a little easier as Twilight continued to heal him. "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she broke some of my bones." "You idiot!" screamed Twilight, smacking Naruto in the face. "Why did you do that?" "Ow!" moaned Naruto, giving Twilight a light glare, before his eyes softened after hearing her question. "I helped you because you're my friend." "What?" asked Twilight, not understanding being friends had to do with him getting hurt. "Friends are there to help each other, when you need it the most," Naruto continued. He started to cough up more blood. Then something in Twilight clicked, finally understanding how to defeat Nightmare Moon. "Thank you, Naruto," said Twilight, gently hugging Naruto. "You're welcome," said Naruto, before closing his eyes. "Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to pass out now." Twilight smiled at him, before frowning. She started to hear clanking from behind her. She turned and saw Nightmare Moon standing in front of her. She looked behind her and saw the girls on the ground hurt but still breathing. "I must say that it was kinda touching. Believe that I should humor you and watch this out, while I squashed your little group, but ultimately it was a waste of time and energy. It's time that I should end," she said, unsheathing her sword. "Good night." Nightmare raised her sword before it down. She expected to see bloodstain on her sword, but instead cut through the rubble that her praise had once been. She turned to hear the sound of teleportation from behind her. She saw Twilight still holding Naruto, before gently putting him down. "I must admit, I commend your drive to resist death, even against an overwhelming adversary," Nightmare complimented, before resheath her sword. "Discard your shackles of the Monarch of the Sun and join me. Become a child of the night." Twilight ignored her, deciding to check on the others instead. "Are you girls okay?" she asked Applejack as she helped her sit up straight. Applejack hissed in pain after trying to sit up, letting a sigh of relief when Twilight began healing her with her magic, before beginning to heal the rest of the girls. "We're still breathing, even if it just barely," said Rainbow Dash as she clutched her ribs, glad it was starting to ease up a bit. "Owie, she really is a meanie," said Pinkie, rubbing her bleeding nose. While this was going on, Nightmare was getting angrier by every passing second they ignored her. She was about to cut down these insolent curds, when Twilight addressed her. "Nightmare Moon, it is time to put an end to your terror," said Twilight, as she helped the girls back on their feet. Nightmare almost had to hold back a laugh after hearing Twilight's declaration. "Pray tell, how will you accomplish this?" asked Nightmare, forgetting her anger for a moment. "Even with your combined strength you were unable to place any lasting damage on my being, and the only thing that can stop me is destroyed. So I ask how you will stop me without your precious elements of harmony." "That's the thing, you think you destroyed the elements just like that?" asked Twilight, looking at Nightmare with the fire burning in her eyes and the determination in her voice caused Nightmare to take a step back and the girls to stand up straighter. "Then you are a fool, as the spirits of the elements of harmony are right here." The shards of the destroyed elements started to glow, before they slowly started to floating in the air and head towards the group. "Applejack," started Twilight, seeing the shards head towards them. "When she reassured me when I was in doubt, representing herself as the spirit of honesty. Fluttershy, who tamed the manticore with compassion, representing herself as the spirit of kindness. Pinkie Pie, who banished our fears in the face of danger, representing herself as the spirit of laughter. Rarity, who calmed down a sorrowful serpent by giving him a meaningful gift, representing herself as the spirit of generosity. And Rainbow Dash, who would not abandon her friends for her own desires, representing herself as the spirit of loyalty. With each declaration of each act, the shards floated towards them, shining brighter than before. Nightmare stepped further back as fear gripped her heart, as well as realizing her blunder. She helped them gain the elements instead of preventing them from acquiring them, but there was still one missing element. And the spirits of these 5 helped overcome each obstacle you threw at us. Wait, started Nightmare, fear laced in her voice. You're still missing the 6th element, so the spark shouldn't have worked. But it did, said Twilight, turning to look at the people that she is happy to call her friends. I felt at the very moment I realized how happy was to hear you, to see you, how much I cared about you. Twilight then looked at Naruto. And how you helped me when I needed it the most. The spark ignited in me. In all of us, when I realized that you were my friends. After that declaration, bright light shined from above them as another sphere appeared with the insignia of a star. It headed towards Twilight, before shattering into pieces, and started to circle around her as well. You see, Nightmare Moon, when those elements are ignited by the spark that reside within us, it creates the 6th element, the element of magic. A light shined, engulfing the room. Each of the shards the girls' posse transformed into a necklace with their cutie mark on them, while Twilight's transformed into a crown. Nightmare blasted towards, ready to cut them down before it was too late. Just when she neared them, she was blasted back to the altar. Before she could try something else, a powerful rainbow blast released and headed straight towards her. No! Screamed Nightmare Moon, before being swallowed by the rainbow. Then the room was engulfed by a blinding flash. The girls were lying on the ground after the flash. Before slowly they started to awaken. Ugh, my head is killing me! Groaned Rainbow Dash, rubbing her head, trying to ease the migraine. Is everybody okay? Asked Applejack as she slowly got back on her feet. Oh, thanks goodness! Exclaimed Rarity, causing the girls to turn to her. They saw that her hair was back the way it was before she cut it. Rarity, it's so lovely, said Fluttershy, looking at Rarity's new accessory. I know, I'll never part from it again, she said, still focusing on her hair. No, I mean your necklace. Fluttershy pointed at her necklace. It looks just like your cutie mark. Fluttershy gasped as she finally noticed as well. All the girls started to notice that necklace held their cutie mark. Look at mine! Look at mine! Exclaimed Pinkie Pie, jumping happily for her new necklace. Ah yeah, now this is some cool bling, said Rainbow Dash, admiring her necklace with her mark. Twilight just marveled at that crown she had received. Gee, Twilight, here I thought you were spouting nonsense. I guess we really do represent the elements of harmony. Indeed you all do, a voice echoed out of nowhere. The girls looked around trying to find the voice, before a bright light come from the window. They shielded their eyes until the light showed it to be Princess Celestia. The girls gasped before immediately bowing down to her, except for Twilight, who ran to her. Princess Celestia! Twilight hugging her teacher, who returned the gesture as well. Happy to see one another were safe. I knew you could do it, my faithful student, said Celestia, pride and happiness in voice. Twilight let go of her, confused by her statement. But I thought you didn't believe me. Twilight looked at her mentor questioningly. Celestia let out a small laugh before calming down. But that's where you're wrong, Twilight. I never said that I didn't believe you. I just told you that you should make some friends, nothing more. I knew you had the power to stop Nightmare, but you would never be able to use it until you let true friends into your heart. Twilight turned to look at her new friends, smiling as they did the same, before giving each other a group hug. Celestia smiled at the scene before turning into a sad frown, turning to where Nightmare Moon used to be. There she saw a young girl around Twilight age wearing a white nightgown, lying on the ground. She long cyan blue hair that reached to her mid-back. Princess Luna. Celestia walked to the girl named Luna, who woke up startled. She turned and faced Celestia, with fear evident in her eyes. It's been 1,000 years since I seen you like this, spoke Celestia as she kneeled down to Luna. Luna shied away from Celestia, but Celestia grabbed her, bringing her into a hug. Luna squirmed before finally settling down. It's time to put our differences behind us. We were meant to rule together, little sister. Some of the girls were surprised by this information, as very few knew what happened to Celestia's sister. Would you return to me once more? Celestia asked, and with pleaded in her voice as she looked down at her sister, still in an embrace. Luna was quiet, while everyone waited for her answer. Luna immediately returned the embrace while shedding tears. She cried into Celestia's chest repeatedly saying sorry. I miss so much, big sister, cried Luna, hugging her sister tighter, happy to be with her once more. Celestia returned the hug just as much as she did, shedding tears as well, happy to have her little sister back. The girls were crying from such a touching moment. It was interrupting from some groaning coming from behind them. They turned and saw that Naruto was waking up. The girls immediately ran to him, having forget that he was there as well. Ugh, what happened? He asked, feeling sore right now as he tried to sit up, with the girls helping him. He looked around, noticing that Nightmare Moon was gone, and 2 new people were in the room. Oh, you should have seen it, Naruto, started Pinkie Pie sitting in front of him. After you passed out, Luna had beaten us into a pulp. Then Twilight was saying funny stuff about friendship. Then those spheres that black snotty head broke into millions of little pieces before, then started to float around us like magic. Then we started float around also. Then a rainbow shot out of nowhere, hitting Moonbutt and to wrap around her like some giant colorful cocoon. Then a bright light happened, and then we went to sleep when we woke up with massive headache. But then we noticed something amazing. Pinkie appearing next to Rarity, scaring her before wrapping herself with Rarity's hair. Rarity's hair grew back like nothing happened to it. Rarity started whining at Pinkie to let go of her hair. Oh, said Pinkie, letting go of Rarity's hair. We also got these nifty little necklaces, while Twilight got a cool crown. Man, I want a cool crown too. Pinkie pouted, playing with her necklace. Pinkie! Naruto called out, snapping Pinkie out of it. Yes? She asked Pinkie, looking at Naruto questioningly. Is that all that happened? He asked. Pinkie looked before remembering what they were talking about. Nope, she said happily. Anyway, after all that happened, Princess Celestia showed up out of nowhere in sparkly lights. Then she said some things, Twilight said some things, and then it was a big happy reunion. But wait, there's more. After that happened, Princess Celestia started walking to where Nightmare Moon was before we blasted her with the rainbow cannon. And to our surprise, she was still there, but it wasn't her, though it was some else. It turned out to be Princess Celestia's sister. Which it was a big surprise to me, because I did not know Princess Celestia even had a sister. Then they had a family reunion, which was really sad, because it was really touch, which made me cry buckets. Then you woke up, and I started to tell you what happened when you were asleep. After Pinkie finished telling her very long explanation, Naruto looked at the other girls, who nodded to him, confirmed that what Pinkie said was true. Wow, said Naruto, scratching his head, wondering how he was able to miss all that. He looked around the room. Hey, where's Shigiya? Naruto asked, seeing as he was not with the group. The girls started to look around the room trying to find him. It did not take long as Pinkie Pie found buried neck deep in rubble. Hey, wakey wakey, eggs and bakey, sang Pinkie Pie, poking Shigiya and trying to wake him up. Come on, Shigiya, wake up, man, said Naruto, a little worried, moving some rubble, with the help of the girls. They sighed in relief when Shigiya opened his eyes. Shigiya let out an annoyed grunt as Pinkie kept poking him on the face. What do you guys want? I'm trying to sleep here, said Shigiya, ignoring Pinkie's constant poking, seeing as it was too much of a hassle to stop her. Shigiya, I got to tell you what happened while you were asleep. You've show dash. Shigiya stopped her before she could start. Enough, I already heard it all. Your big mouth woke me up when you first started. Hey, mouth ain't that big, pouted Pinkie. Well, it's big enough to wake me up, said Shigiya, getting up and dusting himself off. Naruto looked at them, seeing as everything was back to normal, or at least normal as it will ever be with this group of friends. Naruto turned to Twilight, who was still looking at her mentor, who was making up for lost time with her sister. Twilight was happy to see her mentor like this, finally together with her sister. It seems everything worked out better than you expected, huh? Said Naruto, waking up to her from behind. Yes, said Twilight. My original plan was to stop Nightmare from returning, but I guess it's true that the first plan almost never works out like it's supposed to. Would you change it? Never, said Twilight, as she watched her teacher and her sister come towards them. I would like to thank you all for saving me from my darkness, said Luna, bowing to the group, as well Celestia. Please, Princess, we just did what we had to do, said Twilight, embarrassed from their action. But you all risked your lives fighting my other self, trying to stop her. Well, we couldn't just let her do what she wanted, said Naruto. Yeah. Can you imagine nighttime all the time? We have to sleep all day every day, said Rainbow Dash. Well, there are lots of things to do at night, Dashy, like rave parties. But that means I would have to buy lots of glow sticks to throw at the partygoers, said Pinkie, putting up a thinking pose. Anyway, we were happy to help, Princess, said Applejack, with the others nodding to her statement. Still, we are eternally grateful to you all, said Luna, bowing to them again. Now that this is all over and done with, you know what this called for? A party! Screw that, I'm home to sleep, said Shigiya, hear Pinkie's statement. When they returned to Appleville, they were greeted by both the citizens and as well as the royal guards. They all bowed when they saw Celestia approach the entrance of the forest. Twilight! Screamed Spike, happy to see that her big sister was okay. He ran and hugged her, crying into her stomach. Twilight returned it, happy to see that he was okay as well. Rise, my subjects, said Celestia, approaching her subjects with her sister following right behind her. Princess, we are glad you are okay, said one of the guards as they all returned to position. She was wearing a purple version of the armor with a light purple star badge on her chest piece. She took off her helmet, revealing her sapphire blue hair. She had light tan skin with a strong jawline. Before she could say anything else, Twilight ran up, hugged her. BFF! Screamed Twilight, seeing her sister again. Twily, said the guard, surprised to see Twilight. BFF? Said the others, wondering what that meant. Big sister, it's so good to see again. Twilight let go of her, before grabbing her hand and dragging her to meet her new friends. I want you to meet my new friends. Here they are, my best friends, said Twilight as she introduced them all to her. Guys, and this is my big sister, best friend forever, Gleaming Armor Sparkle. She's also captain of the Royal Guards. It would be understandable to say that Gleaming Armor was surprised. Her little sister, who was considered the most antisocial person in all of Canterlot, who the only people she ever socializes with are her, their family, Princess Cadance and Princess Celestia, made friends outside that circle. Now don't get her wrong, she knew her sister would make friends one day, she just didn't think she would make so many in such a short since they last met. It's nice to meet you all, she said. I hope my little sister hasn't caused you too much trouble? Actually, Dash, started Shigiya before Naruto elbowed him in the ribs. Ow, asshole. Nah, no problem at all, she was really fun to hang out with, said Naruto, smiling at Twilight, who smiled back at him. That's good to know, said Gleaming Armor, noticing Twilight and Naruto's interactions. She files that down for later, she had work to do. She turned to Princess Celestia and bowed to her. Princess, we received report that Nightmare Moon had appeared. Is it true? If so, where is she? And who's the person behind you? Do not worry, Captain. Your sister and her friends were able to vanquish her, and this is my beloved sister, Princess Luna, who was freed from Nightmare Moon's clutches. So Nightmare Moon is gone? Yes, she's gone. Everyone was silent until everyone started to cheer, happy that Nightmare Moon was gone. Everyone surrounded the group before carrying them, bringing them to a chariot. The crowd started throwing confetti, while some of the kids gave them flower necklaces. Twilight was happy that everything turned out great. She looked at her new friends, giving a sad frown, realizing that it's all over. Celestia noticed her student's change of demeanor. What's the matter, my faithful student? I finally experienced what it feels like to friends, and now I have to leave them, she said sadly before suddenly a bright idea came to Celestia's mind. Spike? Celestia called out, catching those around her attention. Yes, Princess? Will you please take note? She asked him. Yes, ma'am. saluted Spike, before pulling out a parchment and a quill from his pockets. I, Princess Celestia, hereby decree the sorceress Twilight Sparkle shall take on a new study. She must continue her study of the magic of friendship, and must report all of her findings to me, at her new home at Golden Oaks Library in Appleville. Twilight was so happy that she ran and embraced her friends, happy that she can hang out with them longer. On another note, spoke Celestia, gaining their attention once more. Princess Luna shall be living and studying alongside Twilight. Everyone was shocked by that announcement, no more so than Princess Luna's sister. Luna was confused by her sister's declaration. Celestia sensed her sister's confusion, and turned to address her. Dear sister, I would love nothing more than have you by my side once more. Then why? It's been 1,000 years since you ruled beside me, said Celestia, placing her hand on her shoulder. The world has changed so much since your absence. So you must learn the world that's around you. Then why can't I learn with you at Canterlot? She asked, looking at her sister for question. Because there is another reason for decision as well. Even before the incident, you always chose to be by yourself, never trying to meet new people. That is why I want you to learn alongside Twilight and make some friends as well. Do you understand? I understand, sister. Oh my gosh! This is the best day ever! This calls out for a super-duper party blowout. Am I right, people? Everyone cheered as the festival had finally started, as well as the celebration of the return of their princess. Never knowing that, this event will be the pinnacle of a series of a chain of reactions for the world around them. Chapter end.
Now watch daily exclusive uncensored lemon stories and mature content, along with NSFW images, featuring Harem girls characters from the fics. Access all this and more on my Patreon. Click the link in the description to explore.